I'm Hashim Elmoge, the proprietor of Hashim Elmoge and Company Advocates. At Hashim Elmoge and Company Advocates, we are at the frontier of justice in northern Kenya. We are driven by integrity, competence, service, and a desire to provide legal representation to the people of Wajir County. We want to provide the establishment of Hashim Elmoge and Company Advocates is a call of duty that is meant to provide accessible legal representation, a legal representation which is rooted in the community, being the first local in Kenya's pre- and post-independent history to establish a law firm with an operational office in Wajir County. And therefore, ours is not just a legal practice for the sake of it. It's a legal practice that is meant to empower the people, ensure that we uphold the rule of law with sheer devotion, dedication, and commitment. We say our vision is to be a beacon of legal excellence and social justice in this northern frontier. With law being our compass, the truth being our direction, we want to ensure that we work with justice and give justice a local name. Right now, people are flocking to this office. We are addressing all sorts of issues, from land disputes to criminal matters and civil matters, to even workers of the county government who have been unfairly removed from the payroll. We are addressing all sorts of issues. The grandmother who could not communicate with somebody else because of challenges in the language has found it convenient and to speak to me because I do understand the language and I'm a local from here. And therefore, what we have done is we have brought legal services to the doors of the people of Wajir County who feel now that there is no gap between them and their son. And therefore, it is something the people are really finding it very exciting. This journey started 2 decades ago. After completing my O-levels, I went to India for university education, where I pursued a diploma in journalism, a BA in political science and sociology, then law, joined the National Police Service. While still serving as a police officer, pursued MA in governance and ethics, joined the Kenya School of Law in 2023, passed all the 9 papers in one sitting, was sworn in as advocate of the High Court of the Republic of Kenya in November 2024, straight away applied for a certificate to practice, and I established this law firm. And currently I'm pursuing an LLM program at Catholic University of Eastern Africa. And therefore, I had a passion to pursue law right from when I was a young boy at Sabule Secondary School. And the 6 bearded sisters, the likes of Kijana Wamalwa and Paulo Mite and George Anyona and Orengo, were the people we used to emulate. But now reality abound, and I am here. And I thank the Almighty God for this opportunity, and I'm really determined. My joy knows no bounds. And for me, it's not just about the money. It's not just about the fame. It's not about the power. It is about ensuring that people who have been denied access to justice for more than half a century feel proud and take pride in one of their own, having established an office which seeks to address their desire for legal representation. What has motivated me to establish an office here is having been an activist from the time devolved governance was established in 2013. I found that most of the cases that I felt I should take it to court, litigation being expensive, I could not manage it because we had to pay money. Most of the time, governments do not do public participation well. In law, for public participation to be done, the threshold is it must be effective and meaningful. We have seen public participation being done for the sake of it, as a tokenism, just to tick boxes. I've always felt, no, this is not right. Can I take this to court? And litigation was expensive, I could not take it to court. I've seen activists crave and yearn for legal representation, and because it was expensive, we could not afford it. Now I say it now, that gap must be closed, and I'm here to ensure that on my own suo moto, I can pursue public interest litigation, and on behalf of activists, I can bridge that gap. Wajir County has become a municipality, has become a county. Imagine 1 million people with only one person to provide them with legal representation. There are other advocates, of course, competent, more experienced, but they are based in Nairobi. They say the grass is greener in Wajir. I want to say that narrative is fine, I have no problem with it, but the grass is equally green in Wajir. I'm already providing several pro bono cases. The court refers by law, if a minor is accused of a criminal offense, he is entitled to legal representation. And therefore the magistrates, because I'm registered as an advocate who provides pro bono services, the magistrates will refer such matters. Will ask me, Hashim is a minor, is entitled to legal representation, please pick it up. But on their own, people also approach me. And based on the circumstance, if the person is indigent, he cannot afford legal representation, and he has a genuine case. You can see this person is so poor, and he has been deprived of his rights. Then I step in to ensure that no, it's not about the money, it's about justice, and justice must be served. Justice must not belong to the highest bidder. Justice must not belong to the rich and the opulent. The poor also deserve justice, and I declare myself as the poor man's advocate as much as I'm the opulent man's advocate. Maslaha, which is alternative dispute resolution, is a system that's accepted and anchored in our constitution, but it has its limits. When it comes to capital offenses like murder, robbery with violence, terrorism, sexual offenses, maslaha is out of bound. But in all other matters, maslaha is acceptable because it decongests the court. It takes backlog from the court. When somebody goes to court, for example, he accused somebody of a criminal offense, be it assault or insult or malicious damage to property, and they talk, and he comes to court and says, I request to have my matter withdrawn. Then there is a provision for it under the Criminal Procedure Code. Section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Code allows a party to a criminal case, apart from the capital offenses we mentioned, to withdraw. And you hear the magistrate appreciate that person because it helps in the decongestion. But in sexual offenses, it is a no. And we are having challenges where elders, religious leaders, chiefs, administrators are involving themselves in using maslaha to settle sexual offenses out of court. That is a no-go zone. Both levels of government have an obligation to provide civic education to the people. The other day, was it a week or two, the National Assembly, led by Honorable Adam Kainan, the MP for Elders, were here to conduct a public participation on budget making process. The National Assembly allocated 3 billion shillings to public participation. And I think that public participation is not just on budget making processes. It's about civic education generally to Kenyans. The devolved system of governance we have is a complex and complicated system of governance, where we vote for 6 different candidates during elections. There are 2 levels of government. Another time we talk about 47 government. Another time we talk about 48 governments. We have a bicameral legislature. You know, we have 2 arms of government at the county level, but 3 at the national level. This confuses the ordinary person, the lay person, the layman or the lawman. So the county government has an obligation to provide civic education. In fact, under the County Government Act, county governments are mandated to establish civic education and public participation unit funded from the consolidated fund, the grants which the county governments get from the national government. They are mandated to provide civic education. Apparently they don't do. The civic education that's done here is supported by non-governmental organizations and Wajir Community Radio. For the last 10 years, I've been doing and providing civic education in partnership with Wajir Community Radio, which is funded by the Swedish Embassy. So both levels of government must walk the talk on civic education. Public participation is presupposed by civic education. You cannot invite people for public participation when they do not know how and what they are going to participate on. And therefore, that's one area government has not been investing, and it's time they walk the talk.